What can you do in less than 4 seconds? We're going to talk about it on today's podcast. Hi, my name is Michael Johnson. I'm a ballroom dance professional, a life coach, and a peak performance expert. I'm part of a group of motivated people who are dedicated to attaining emotional mastery and unlocking our full potential. We've realized life is a dance. The ups and downs can spin you out of your mind, but it's time to take back control. It's time to become a lifer. We don't believe others are responsible for how we feel. In fact, we don't believe anyone can make us feel anything. We are a new breed of overachievers. Emotional mastery is our journey, and unlocking our full potential is the key. Welcome to the journey. We are lifers, and this is Magic for Life. What's up, lifers? Michael Johnson and the Magic for Life podcast. I'm so glad you joined me today. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast, and if you haven't subscribed, please do that before you leave today. As you heard in the intro, what can you do in less than 4 seconds? Well, just recently, the world record for solving a Rubik's Cube was set at 3.4 seconds. Now, just so that you get an idea, the intro on its own, just for me to ask you what you could do in less than 4 seconds, was about 5 seconds, a little bit over 5 seconds. Now that's crazy. 4 seconds goes by so fast. So right now we're going to do it with you. I have a stopwatch up. Here we go. And I'll count it so that you can see how long 4 seconds is. Here we go. On your marks, get set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I couldn't even stop it at 4 seconds. I stopped at 4.27 seconds. 4 seconds is crazy fast, but 3.4 seconds is even more insane. Gosh, can you compose a thought in 3.4 seconds? Well, the answer is yes. For those of you that have been listening to this podcast, you know we talk about controlling and managing our emotions. We talk about taking our emotions to the next step. So, what can you do in less than 4 seconds? Well, what can you do in less than 3.47 seconds? It's pretty straightforward. You can change your state. You can change the emotional meaning that you give to a situation instantly. And oftentimes, you have to go in and maybe catch yourself going into the automatic version or automatic meaning that you've given something. Now remember, some of this is because we've learned through years and years and years, millions of years of self-preservation to take shortcuts in our mind. But sometimes these shortcuts, they hurt us. Sometimes they get us to a conclusion that maybe is not necessarily the truth. Well, what's the truth? Remember, there are always 3 sides to the story, right? Their side, your side, and the truth. So that must mean that there are possibly different answers. Well, how many different answers? Well, luckily, just like a Rubik's Cube, there are tons and tons of answers. In fact, I can't even read the number of solutions that there are to a Rubik's Cube, but let's say it's basically somewhere in the 43 quintillion range. Quintillion? Who even talks about a number that big? Well, let's figure that out. That's 6 commas. Quintillion, 43 quintillion different ways to solve a Rubik's Cube. That's amazing. And that's a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. There are lots of different kinds, and it's huge. Now, according to Google supercomputers, so you could look this up right on Google, that 3x3 can be solved in 20 moves or less. Right? In that 43 quintillion different solutions. Now that's crazy, right? That's so many possible solutions. But what if we started to look at our emotional states a little bit more like that? Now I understand Rubik's Cubes are hard to solve and you have to spend some time, but the first way to solve it is not too bad. Now you won't be able to do it per se in 3.47 seconds using the beginner's method or the basic method. You have to actually do some studying. You have to go in and figure out the combinations And then to set a world record, you probably are going to have a set or a setup that is just right. And that's huge. With emotions and with meaning that you're giving to your world and to your situations and experiences, there are so many possible situations. There's so many possible ways for you to look at and give meaning to a situation. This is huge. Now, we are way more complex than a Rubik's Cube. However, you can change your emotion in less than 3.47 seconds. See, I don't know how you're feeling right now, but if you'd like to feel some way different, believe me, you can change it in a New York minute, a snap, a thought. All it takes is just one change of meaning. Or maybe multiples so that it'll stick. But guys, you can control your emotions. You can control your emotions. That's huge. So, decide right now how you'd like to feel today. And realize that it's a lot easier than one of those 43 quintillion solutions. Give the scenario of your life, of your world, of your situation. And I know it might be hard, and I understand that. There might be some difficult things you're going through. But with a little bit of work and effort, looking at the meaning at which you give those situations, you can make a change. And in less time than a Rubik's Cube can be solved, you can change your state. And you can start to head towards something more, well, let's say appropriate for what you'd like to feel. And that's the most important thing. So, let's give it a try. Less than 3.47 seconds. How would you like to feel right now? Think about it. Maybe you're feeling one way and maybe you'd like to feel a different way. Okay, well, think about that situation. Think about the situation you're in currently. And for just a quick second, what would you have to do? What would you have to reframe? How would you have to give that situation new meaning for it just to change the emotional feeling of it just a little bit? You don't have to change it huge. It could just be a little bit. Do it now. Snap those fingers and decide that you're going to feel different. And I know that might be difficult, but it is a decision. It is just a step. Now, there's lots of tools and lots of things you can do to practice and get better at this, but it starts by taking a look at your situation and understanding that you can choose what it means. And this is empowering, and I hope that you can find some of that power because you are in control of your life, and nobody can make you feel anything. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today, and I look forward to talking with you again. And as usual, if you know somebody that could benefit from this podcast, please share it with them, and we'll talk to you next time. Take care. Want more magic for life? If so, then reserve your copy of my new book. Get your copy at everyminutebook.com. Inside this book, you'll find the secrets to attaining the next level of performance in anything you do. Learn the secrets behind emotional mastery that'll start you on your new journey of being a lifer. Whether you're an athlete, a business professional, or an artist, this book will change your life forever. Get your copy reserved today.